All right. What's up, everyone? I'm Avery Woodley. Welcome to Same Team Sunday, where we win together and lose apart. Yes, I already know it was some technical difficulties going on. I literally think every Sunday it's something. Like, every single stream there has been something that is trying to happen. Is it means do with planning, no matter how far you hit in advance. I go through the sound or the camera. You guys know I have that in. I put this down a while ago. All these other things. Constantly go through the checks and something happens every single time. It's every time something happens from doing the same team Sunday sessions and it will not quit. So today it was the USB cord that goes in into the computer. Okay. It's new. I got it running the camera. And everything had a short in it. Move it around. It would not hook up. And earlier, when I was meeting with my guests, everything was fine. We got another. I had 650. It comes back with another USB cord. And you plug it up, still does not work. Took everything out of the camera, the battery, everything. Plugged back in the old USB, and it works. Absolutely ridiculous. And I was telling my guests, I was like, bro, it was always something. We had our sound check earlier with the audio. Everything was the same. She was having some snafus earlier on her end. I was like, right, it's nothing but the enemy trying to keep us from doing this. So that's what today was like before I started, before I got in here with you guys. Up until literally the last second, the camera started working again at like 6:50. So here we are. And like, so I'm trying not to look at it, but I have to look. The green screen, you guys see today's topic, we're talking about money, we're talking about finances. So we have a little thing going on right here. I think my camera's like super close. I'm looking back like it's really on here, okay? It is money, right? Today's topic we are finances, money, all that good stuff when it comes to romantic relationships, all right? So we have titled it for the love of money. I have a beautiful absolutely gorgeous, very easy on the eyes, okay? And I'll let her introduce herself when it comes to her title and everything like that. But she is the owner of Status Credit Advisors, right? That's it. Status Credit Advisors on Instagram, Essence Status Credit Advisors, and I'll probably have her added to the screen, and she, as well as a certified credit advisor, okay? So she knows a lot. And I was like, you know what? Money is a big deal, okay? And not wasting money, not people like just chasing after money or gold diggers. We're not talking about that. We're talking about people who are already in romantic relationships, their finances, or who are in a committed relationship, anything serious, and they're thinking about, going forward. Money is a huge issue. What is it?
That's not your sound.
Oh, you guys can't hear me. Is it echo? Oh, hold on. I'm going in and out. Let's see. Uh, every single time something is going on. Is the Yeah, it's a Rode microphone. Is the mic plugged up? The mic. Yeah, it's what this happens every single session is always something. You had the sound in, guys. Is it still messed up? You're just gonna hear a whole conversation. Okay, so on the Mac, should it be muted or unmuted? Yeah.
Unmuted.
Hold on, guys. Still no sound. It's gone. Wait, hold on. Okay, it's still not working. Where's the other one? It's back. Wait, hold on. Is it back or is it gone? If it's back, let me know. I told you guys. I'm telling you, this happens every single week. It's something like they do not want me the the like the universe, the enemy, whatever you want to call it, the Satan does not want me to do this. Right? So we run through same setup. We run through it. We run through it maybe for like an hour or so, and then right before nothing wants to work. Nothing. Everything's like brand new. Nothing. Okay. The wrong feed. Is it still? So let me know. Is it working or no? Maybe I have to come over here and work on. Oh, now it's working. So let's see. Let me know if you guys can hear me now. And so we can get started. So if you can hear me, put a thumbs up or anything like that. Okay, it's getting better. All right. Working but the feed is hollow. What is that? Oh, you guys know what that means. And then if I need to, you can grab the mic or the headphones and I'll have to do that again. Okay. You guys keep me posted. So let's just start doing this. The first few minutes, I'm only going to do this because no matter what, and saying just gotta do it. And at this point, you see me laughing. Like, I feel bad for you guys to just like, oh, you're gonna be professional, we have everything set up, but it was just like completely out of my control. It just does it every single time. Earlier, we were going through it with the guests on, and it was the echo, it was this, we got it. They were like, oh, perfect. It sounds crystal clear. Now here I am, and it is not crystal clear. Oh, it sounds like I'm talking in a stairwell. Okay. So what we're gonna do is you get that microphone and then those one headphones, sorry guys, those one headphones are in this drawer over here. I may bring okay, so we're gonna fix the audio. Uh let me know if it's going in or out. And I'm actually probably gonna I'm not going to bring my guest on this video. Thank you guys for being patient. I don't know why it's doing this. And I'm going to message her right now, actually. And if it sounds, she can say yes, she said it sounds cloudy too. And yes, guys, I am definitely saying to it's good to see you guys. That it really is. You know what? I may need to start doing my live just like just randomly. I'm like, why is that? Like, why are you're really trying to set me up for failure, but like, it's not gonna work. Everything I've been through, the audio, the camera, the like everything not working, all of a sudden, every single time. And I'm gonna check her chat and being better. Hello, Abby. Hello, hello, hello. All right, if you guys are just joining us, look, there's a plain type. The enemy is out for us every Sunday. Okay, every Sunday, no matter what walkthroughs I go through, 48 hours before, 24 hours before, 3 hours before, something happens to the camera, the computer, the audio. Not earlier when I practice, or when I kind of go through it, but right before, and as soon as I hit live, nothing wants to work. as soon as I hit live. It's set up. Like I told you, you will not win. And my guest was coming on. Like I said, she had some snafus earlier. And I was like, yep, this is one of those, it's one of those things. I was like, every Sunday I have to prepare for something to try to go wrong. Every single Sunday. And just like you do every stream. I also pray. I just recite no before we get to class. And it just wants, wants me to stop, and I'm not gonna stop. So you guys just come on the bottom door. So I'm getting headphones and a microphone. Yeah, it's good to see you guys. How is your Sunday going? How is your Sunday going? I want to bring my guest on right so we can go ahead and get started. But go ahead and comment, let you guys know how your weekend was and all of that. It's almost spring and it's actually been pretty nice in St. Louis. So I'm in St. Louis right now. We have some really hot days. Randomly this week, it's supposed to snow. It's supposed to snow like on Wednesday or something like that. I cannot believe it. Let me go back to my private tab. Like I said, you guys, nothing changed from earlier when I ran through. Absolutely nothing. Oh, good evening, Brandon. Good evening, good evening, good evening. If you just joined, okay, so I'm just going to keep saying it for everyone who just joined. Um, I am
You know it.
you guys hear me? Okay, if you can hear me, give it a thumbs up. Oh, thank you, Brandon. I'm glad you are here. Audio's the same. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Hold on, guys. All right, how's it sound now? You guys hear me? Yes. No. Hold on.
You know what? This is really terrible.
You good.
It's good. Oh, wait. Scott said it's the same. Okay. Ebony said that's a lot better. And here I go with these headphones. Hold on. Okay. If you guys didn't see me last Sunday, these are my studio headphones. Like I'm going to do a diss track. And you know that I flat iron my hair. So it's probably gonna frizz up because I have these headphones on. Okay. All right, my girl Ebony is in the VIP section with messed up audio. Hey girl, hey. Okay, so let's just start this all over. All right. Welcome to Same Team Sundays. I am your host, Avery Woodley, and this is where we win together or lose apart. And really quick, I have the green screen. This is the only thing that has changed, okay? Which has nothing to do with audio, nothing to do with the camera. And like I said earlier, just bear with me. Every Sunday, something goes wrong. No matter how early I do this, something goes wrong. The enemy does not want me to do Same Team Sundays, okay? Not at all. The USB didn't work for the camera. It's brand new. Went and ran and got another one. That one didn't work. Then put the old one back in and it worked. Then I get on here. The audio doesn't work. But it was crystal clear earlier. Cannot stand it. Okay, so let's just get right to it. First, I want to say thank you for being patient. Thank you for being here and for your support. All right, so this Sunday, we are talking about finances in relationships. Does financial status matter in a relationship? So it's all about for the love of money. And my guest is the owner of at Status Credit Advisors. I wanted to say the Instagram name. That's why I was like at, but that's what it is. At Status Credit Advisors. Make sure you follow her. But with that, she is also a certified credit specialist. All right. So we are going to get into it and it's going to be good because money is one thing a lot of people want to spend, but they don't want to talk about when it comes to relationships because you also don't want to feel like somebody's trying to control you and trying to control your funds. But a little control could be healthy, especially if somebody's being wasteful or if you have goals that you all want to accomplish together and you got to watch your money. All right. So we do have the live chat. I always say I'm going to do a better job of checking it. But I get caught up in the conversation and then looking at you all's comments and I'm talking to you all and I got to get back on track. So I am going to check. We do have the super chat. If you want to tip and support so we can see your comment, go ahead. If you just want to tip and support because you want to spend money, no, just to show your support and love, thank you. If you just want to comment and say, hey, glad to be here, or I like what you're doing, I love that as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring my guest on, and we're just going to get right into it because we've had enough with the audio and the camera and the studio headphones once again. And if this keeps happening, I'm going to record a rap song. Seriously. I have beats. I have wireless ones, and they will not work when it comes to this. I don't know why. Okay, so I'm gonna bring her on right now.
Hi.
Hello.
Girl. Oh my God, right?
Girl.
That's why we were supposed to be sipping cognac, right?
We were supposed to be sipping cognac, that VSOP. And I'm over here with some water. Baby, hair about to be sweating when I get off of here.
It's all good.
All right.
Well, thanks for having me on. I'm so excited. This conversation's going to be so juicy.
It's going to be so juicy because she's the professional. Okay. So she's going to be giving tips and just really talking us through this. And I'm going to be throwing out those wild cards for
You have to.
But no,
And some
it
of the
really
live
is
experiences
good.
that you face. So, yes, we need all of that.
That is it. So, go ahead and give us a little bit of backstory on you and how you got into being a credit advisor and your business and all of that. And then we're going to get into this topic, girl.
Perfect. So, I'm Celicia. I actually own Status Credit Advisors. I've been in the business for, it's actually 3 years now. I went live last year. And with that being on Facebook and Instagram, that's why I'm saying live. But I have been repairing like family and friends credit for the past 2 years previous to going live. So basically, you know, from restoring your credit, repairing your credit, and rebuilding your credit, all of those needs, if you are lacking in any type of way with your credit financially, scores, you have negative items that are hindering you from getting approved for anything, disputes, bankruptcies, child support, anything of that nature that is that's deterring you from getting approvals, come see me. I have free consultations. My link is in my bio on Status Credit Advisors. Just let me know. We can chat about it. Sometimes you don't need credit repair. Sometimes you just need a little bit of advice. So with that being said, tonight, definitely I want to give a few tips if we can throughout this conversation about the relationship part in finances. So feel free to chime in the comments. If I can catch it, I'll try to give you some tips as I see them come in. So
and
ready
also,
when you are, girl.
Okay. And then also, for those of you who may be in a relationship and you guys have a system down, when we get to that part of the live, go ahead and share with us what you all do in your household and what you've noticed works for you. Okay? So, does financial status matter?
That's the big question for tonight, right?
That is the question. All right. So, let's hear it. Does it matter? What do you think?
So for me, I don't feel that it doesn't deter me from loving my partner. That makes me feel the need to have that conversation to make sure we're on the same page. So our goals are on common ground so we can help each other. You know, he may be lacking in some areas that I'm, you know, fluent in and vice versa. So when you're on the same team, as you preach, I love this. Being on the same team, if you're in love, that doesn't matter.
Right.
So, but with that being said, I'm not the person that's just going to just date a bum. I'm not dating a bum. So, you know, I have to have some type of appeal and attraction to you. So I'm usually attracted to a man that has himself together, everything lined up. Just so happened, you know, I haven't had to experience, you know, a bum. I'm sorry, but you know, that's what I'm going to say because there's so much information out here. There's so many different opportunities. If you have not figured it out by now, there's so much free money out here too. There's so many ways to improve. If you can't find some type of niche and grab along to it and better yourself, then really there's nothing for me with that. So yeah, so my past, I have not had to deal with anybody that I've had to drop because of financial status. I do think it's important. Is it a deal breaker for me? It could be. It could be.
Right.
And that comes to play where you're not trying to improve. So
now I do have a question. Now, what if, and this is getting not off topic, but jumping around a little bit. So when it's financial status, say it's a man or a woman who, well, obviously for you it's gonna be a man, but who has their stuff together, but they're heavy spenders. So that's the thing. They may have the finances,
Okay.
but they're spending. Is that also kind of like a red flag? Like, whoa, wait a minute.
So it's a difference between the heavy spender. Are you a heavy spender because you can afford to be one?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the question. Can you afford
Yeah.
that?
Now, yeah, because there are some people who can afford it,
Yeah.
but they're still wasteful in a sense.
Wasteful is distasteful. Wasteful is distasteful, but you know, if it does not affect the home, if it's not affecting the relationship, that's really like a personal issue for someone.
Right. Okay. I just wanted to throw that in there. Now, this is how I feel.
What do you say about that?
This is how I feel about financial status. It definitely matters. And real quick, we have some people that are saying, so Scott said finances matter for men when dating. Okay, we're gonna get to that. And then we have some other questions. Okay, so this is how I feel. I think finances do matter. Financial status. So financial status matters. And like you, how do I put it? I don't want to be with a bum, but I'm also not going to be with someone just because their financial status is up here. And I'm not going to not pay attention to somebody because their financial status is right here. To me, the most important thing is their mindset, because when it comes to that, if they have it in them to be like, you know what, there are some things that I want to do in this life. There are some things that I want to acquire and accomplish, and I'm going to position myself to get there and do whatever I have to, whether it's, you know, study during the evening and work a day job, or get different certifications, or, you know, get your CDL and you're a truck driver. And then in a few years, you buy a truck, then you buy another truck, or whatever it is. Or if it's just somebody who just gets up, goes to work, works hard, comes home, saves their money, or invest it, and we'll get to all of that. And they don't have the mindset where they are comfortable living paycheck to paycheck or struggling. Because some people are just comfortable, you know? So that's what it is. Because you can have $1 million mindset, or you can just have the mindset that's like, no, as a grown man, I have the ability to work and to provide for myself and for someone else. If I want to, I'm going to work, and I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to take care of what I have. Just like you take care of your body, you take care of your mind, you take care of your spirit. I'm going to take care of my money because I work hard for the money.
For my money. Yeah.
I work hard.
Definitely. Yeah.
And now here's another question. Does the financial status of the man matter more than the financial status of the woman?
It does not for me, it doesn't, but I know more women feel that the man should make more money. And it's probably a school way of thinking because, you know, women were far behind in getting, you know, rights. So the man, we grew up knowing that the man was the provider in that type of situation. But like with my parents, my dad always worked. He was the provider. My mom was a housewife. And, you know, she took care of the kids, made sure she house clean, cooked, and all that good stuff. But, you know, with some people, they're looking for a man of a certain status, a certain tax bracket, right? And because that it kind of goes back again to the man used to be the provider, but now women are stepping up to the plate. So the scale is lopsided now. You may have a female that is, you know, a top figure and dealing with a man that he's been on his job. He's still, you know, a responsible guy, still making a decent living. But he's, I'm not even gonna call it stuck, but stuck on being, you know, standard or average. You know, so
yeah,
I just, for me, I feel like I'm going to help push you. If you're dealing with me, I'm going to push you to that next level.
Yes.
So, or beneath me financially, we're on the same team. I need you to step up to the plate. So whatever we can do, we're going to go into business together, whatever it's going to be to help you level up. I'm going to be that. So.
Okay. And see, that is what it should be about. I think 100%. And we're going to get to even some of my personal experience when it comes to the financial status and the lifestyle that I had and some of the things that I did. And I was like, when you're in it, you're like, oh, okay, you know, whatever. And it can be also the way you grow up. If you haven't been educated on finances and all of that. But when I started dating and I had to talk about the finances, what I did and did not know, because I was in a situation where my parents had raised me, you know, and they talked about finances, and we'll get to that. But I was still spoiled to an extent. So there wasn't a lot that I knew when I got older, because when I got married, we owned, you know, a fitness facility. I was a trainer, but also I was a stay-at-home mom. I was a housewife. And the money thing wasn't my thing. You know, I could spend it. I had access to it. But when it came down to, you know, budgeting and I don't know, all of that, we really didn't talk about anything. And like I said, we'll get to that portion. But what I want to do now is just kind of put our positions out there and our points of view in general, so our watchers can kind of know where we're coming from. Now, when it comes to the financial status of a woman, I still feel that a lot of people don't think that her status is as important as the man's status. Now, I'm not saying I don't think it's important, because to me, I've had to step my game up.
Right.
So it is important, especially if we're going to be together, same team. It's amazing if we can both contribute, whatever it is, even if it's a stay-at-home mom. But if she is on a plan, so to speak, with her husband, and they're like, hey, I'm going to go out and make the money. You are adding value to the relationship by taking care of all of this. So really, we're not paying anybody else to do these things. You got that in. Now let's sit down and talk about where our money's going, what we're going to do with it, how much we can spend. Do we need to tell the other person before we do a big purchase? You know, and all of that. But there's still something that's all important, because I wanted to really think that a woman's financial status personally did not matter, because I had some stuff on my credit, baby, that I did not want to face. And you guys, when you hear this, you're gonna be like, "Oh, Avery." But I told you,
Yeah.
I am here to be an example, and I will put myself on the chopping block and share
We've all
with
made
you
mistakes.
all my mistakes. Okay?
Yeah.
Because I was like, cash is king. Oh, okay. Just cash them out. I got cash for this. I got cash for that. Where the money reside. Like, but didn't have any credit. That's not a good look. That was my problem, guys. All right. So let's get to it. When it comes to the dating, all right, when do you think it is a good time for, or how should you do it, for people to disclose their financial status when it comes to, let's say, their credit, like the big C word, which I was petrified of?
I feel like once you actually enter that agreement, like we are going to be exclusive, we are a couple now. You know what I mean? Other than that, when you're just frequently just dating, if you're just out having fun, it's really not anyone's business.
No.
You know. But once you enter that agreement and come to terms that we are going to be an item, we are going to be exclusive in a monogamous relationship, then I think that's important, so you don't get confused.
Now, this is what's important. Like she said, obviously, we're not talking about casual dating or what do you guys call it? Cuddle buddies, cuddy buddies. I don't even people say that anymore. But when you know,
I feel that.
Hey, we're going to try to be serious. We're going to be committed. Let's see where this thing goes.
Definitely.
You have to bring it up. Okay? And you guys, when I started dating and it got serious, I was like, dang, I got something I need to tell. Seriously. Because when you date somebody, there are certain things that you have to disclose. I don't want to hear, oh, that's not that person's business. No, you wouldn't date somebody and have kids and not tell them. They have a right to know if you have kids. You can't say, oh, well, they don't have kids, so I don't want to tell them that I don't, because what if they don't want to talk to me? That is their choice. And you have to give that to them. So kids, your health status, your finances, all of those things.
Health status, that's a pretty good one too.
Baby, your health status in all ways. Baby, let me see them papers. But if you're disclosing that, you also need to disclose your financial status. And I don't mean go print off your bank statements.
No.
If you're like,
hey, but if the IRS is looking for you and you're, more than likely you may be facing some jail time, please be respectful, be transparent in your financial stability, your partner, not with just anybody you're dating randomly. Just, I'm saying, in a committed relationship, be transparent when it comes to your finances.
You have to, because they have to decide, do I want to deal with this or not? And you all, there are several reasons why some people don't want to disclose their financial status, especially when it comes to credit. Shame, embarrassment. Is this person going to judge me? Are they going to think because I've been possibly irresponsible with money or payments? Is that going to spill over into our personal relationship and how I handle things? Okay? Because it can be a pattern. Or
that fear.
It could be like me. So let me tell you.
No, that fear will keep you from a lot of stuff. That fear will keep you from entering a relationship. There's a lot of single people that are afraid to date because of their finances. So that
Yes.
fear will keep you from your love life. It will keep you
Mhm.
from getting approved and moving ahead in life. People want to buy homes and they're afraid to go apply because they're afraid of the denial. Everybody's afraid of denial, right?
Yes.
So, you know, you don't want to be told no. You don't want to go out to show interest in male or female and, you know, get curved. So, you know, that's being told no.
Right.
That fear, that self-sabotaging yourself, that has to end. You have
So
to face it. And you
that's
never
what I
know if
did.
it's that bad or not, right?
That is what I did, you all. Okay. I was afraid to check my credit for years. I was like, I'm not checking it. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Because to me, I just knew it wasn't where I thought it should be. Okay. But here's the thing. The longer you don't check it, the worse it can get. Or, like Celicia said, you're living in fear. It may not even be that bad. And it's keeping you from moving on in multiple areas, whether it's a relationship or pursuing some investments or just setting yourself up for the future. Okay. So I did not want to check my credit score. All right. Got into
So many
a
people
relationship.
like that.
Got into a relationship. And I mentioned this earlier. I was like, oh, I got to tell him something. Okay. I was embarrassed, you guys. I was like, I have to tell him something. I got to tell him because he has a right to know. He's a businessman. He deals with money. Oh, that made it even worse. He deals with money. I was like, I'm going to have to tell him. But guess what? Even if he wasn't a businessman, if he was a police officer or a fireman, he still had a right to know. But what really put the nail in the coffin was the fact that he dealt with money. And I was like, oh, how am I
That's probably why
him?
you were afraid. That's why you were afraid.
You guys, I was petrified because I felt like, okay, I'm this age. I have kids.
Yeah.
You know, I should not be afraid to check my credit score. But I was also afraid to check it because I didn't really have any credit. My home was paid for.
That could be a problem too.
My cars are paid for. It was just like, I didn't want to check it. And when, I don't know who brought it up, and it might have been him. Or no, I think I told him. Yeah. I was like, look, my credit score, that ain't it. You ain't hitting it. I was like, I don't know what it is, but I think it might be as low as it can get. And he was like, oh no, it's probably not. It's probably, it's probably not in the 300s. I was like,
300?
Oh no. I was like, no, it's not that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you guys what it was. It's none of your business. No, because we're not dating. No. But it was low. Now it was not there. And so he was like, look, we're going to get that credit together. And you guys, I did not have any credit. Okay. I'm going to tell myself further. I had to get a new cell phone. Okay. Because when I bought the house that I have, the service is really bad with Sprint. So I went to AT&T to get a phone. I had never had a cell phone in my name.
Wow.
This was not that long ago, guys. I still actually look the same. That was not how recent it was. It was probably like,
this is some real stuff.
This is real. It was within the last few years. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I had never had a cell phone because in my name. And I didn't have any credit. Why? Cash is king.
Fear?
So I'm going to use cash for everything.
Cash? Okay. Cash and fear
everything.
Problem.
That wasn't my problem.
Were you ever faced with a situation where you had to use credit for anything like
no, girl.
Booking a flight or anything? You just use debit card?
I just use cash. My debit card. I didn't have a credit card. Okay, no, let me take that back. There was a credit card that I had that my dad had put my name on when I was in college at Michigan State. Okay, you guys, we
That's
know
a good thing. That's
that
a
was
good
100
thing.
years ago. So I still had that credit. That was like my
That's good.
longest standing, whatever. But the point is, everything that I bought
Yeah.
was from my checking account. All the money I spent, checking account. So here I
Okay.
am in a position where I'm like, you know what? There are some things that I want to do, some investments, you know, all of these things. I don't have any credit. And I'm not going to tell you guys this part. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys. I had let my college loan go into default. You guys, I told you, I'm putting myself on the chopping block. Why did I let them go into default? For absolutely no reason. None.
It happens all the time.
Can easily
Happens all the time.
pay them off. But I let them go into default. Then I was scared to check. Then I didn't want to go through that whole processes of having to set up a payment and fill out the paperwork and do all this. Okay, you guys, and this is stuff that I did when I was younger, and I just kept letting it go. I was like, it's okay, because I got all this
You were
cash.
stuck in that cycle.
Yeah.
Stuck in the cycle of not wanting to be bothered with it.
Not wanting to be bothered. It's that fear. It keeps you stagnant. It's self-sabotage. Okay. So here I am. I'm like, you know what? It's time to put my big girl drawers on. I know my dad used to say that. Yeah, I got to put them on. He's like, look, we are going to get your credit together. Now, in that moment, I was like, okay.
You said we're on the same team.
It wasn't a yelling thing. It was like, oh my gosh, how could you not have any credit? How could you have done that? How could you have done that? He was like, look, here's this company. I want you to call them. I'm going to ask you later if you called them. Did you sign up for the program? Did you do this? He was like, don't say nothing to me about going out, about doing anything.
Until you made those calls.
Until I made these calls.
Love it.
But so we did that. And, here I am now with the perfect, no, it's not a perfect credit score, but I have credit. Within the first, let's say 6 months, maybe 8 months.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not only dating this person, but him saying like, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this with your credit, with your money. Then we're going to do this. Then we're going to start this process. Then you can start setting up investments to where your money makes money. Do you know within like the first 6 months, maybe my stuff jumped like over 100 points. Easily. Baby, if you cannot tell me that is not adding to somebody's life and being on the same team, like that's what it's about. Okay. So when it comes to the credit and all of that, you have to disclose that. And we have to get together. And the cash, get me together. Now, I don't do it anymore. But we were like cash, just cashing out. Baby, you guys could just walk past me. I was just like.
Right.
And I never thought, oh, let me get a credit card. You know why? Oh, I don't want that cash. I'm just going to pay. You see what I'm saying? Oh, I don't want that bill. I'm just going to pay cash for it. Now tell me, why is that harmful? Why is that way of thinking harmful?
I mean, it's a trapped mind frame because you're not, like you said before, you're not making your money work for you. You're stuck. Your money is just going out. Nothing's coming back. Mm-hmm. If you're leveraging your credit and using other people's money, you're freeing up your cash. You can take your cash and invest so you can make more cash, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what you need to do. You need to make sure your money is out working. We're all working, right? You want your man to work. when your son and your daughter get old enough, you kicking them out the house so they can work. Everything has to work, right? So I'm working, you're working, our money needs to work, right?
Okay.
So yeah,
Now-
just getting out of that mind frame of there's a lot of people that always say they don't have any credit cards and they think that's a good thing. Well, you don't have any credit, so you got to get a car loan or a mortgage loan, and your interest rates are going to be sky high. You're paying twice as much as you would have paid had you had, leveraged your credit and fixed your credit, repaired your credit, and build your credit. So, I mean, it's just a way to save money.
Okay.
And I saw Scott or somebody in the comments said that credit cards are scams. I mean, it's your choice if you feel like you've been scammed off of it. If you
but there
didn't
are
use
safe
it right.
credit cards, right?
There are.
Or there are ones that are better than other ones.
Definitely. I mean, and once you start building credit and seeing how credit works and leveraging that credit, then your mind frame may change. But there are people that still are old school and still wants to just use cash. But the thing about cash, like I said, it's not making you anything.
And that's
it's just sitting there.
I didn't understand that, but
It's
it wasn't
output.
doing
It's not
anything.
inputting anything.
Yeah. And then when it came to me even purchasing a home, now granted, I did want to pay cash up front as an investment, put cash into it, refinance down the road. But here's the thing. Not everyone is in a position to just pay cash for a house. So if I would not have been in that position, I still would not have had any credit. You see what I'm saying? I would not have been able to really do anything. So I feel like my life has gotten
You mentioned
better.
your father put you on a card. You mentioned your father put you on a credit card.
Yes, years ago.
That's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing because if you are still on that card, you're an authorized user. People pay to be authorized users.
Okay, so that's what it is. I don't have the credit card in my possession, obviously. He did this years ago, like I said, when I was at Michigan State. Go green, go white. I did graduate from Michigan State, Spartan. Okay. But no, when I was there, he did it. And then he would tell me, okay, you can use it for books. You can use it for gas. So I did have it in my possession then. And then he would use it on certain things, his credit, and we're going to get to him, like 800, whatever, has invested his money. He's good. But he put my sister and I on there as authorized users. Okay. And that did help. And then fast forward, once I started building credit, that's what I had to do. I had to build credit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I had none. I can't be in my 30s with kids and just have cash.
Right.
I need to have some credit because there are moves that I want to make. I need to have some credit. Okay. So I started building my credit. And here's another thing. When it comes to the relationship, you all, if you disclose this, the person may say, hey, you know what? I'm also going to add you as an authorized user on an account to help build your credit. You don't have to have the card in your possession, but now
no, you don't.
I'm an authorized user on another credit card.
You're just paying off of that good history, that good credit history.
And I have my credit cards, but like we said, I've heard people say, we've all made these mistakes. And I started making these mistakes at a young age. And the fear, like you guys are saying, Scott said it's a mind killer. I think someone else said, Brandon said fear is a fungus. Brandon, baby, you ain't never lied.
It is.
It will just
definitely
spread
and
grow and everything. And it messes everything up. and then you have to face it. You cannot outrun your credit or your finances
It's
or
that
anything
fear
like
of
that.
denial. That's what it is. You don't want to be told no.
You do not want to be told no. And guess what?
Yeah.
For some, it may be a deal breaker, and for some, it may not, especially if you're compatible in all of these other areas. Your credit
Yeah.
can be repaired if it's bad, or if you have no credit,
Guys, it's
you can
definitely
build it.
fixable. Please. Please.
Right. It
Credit
can
could be
be,
fixed.
it can be built. Or if you're just financially irresponsible, you can reverse that and become financially responsible. Especially if you're with someone and they're helping you and you're like, you know what? I want us to be able to travel together. I want us to be able to do business together. Let me get my stuff together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me grow up. Let me man up. Let me woman up and get it together. So for me, it definitely wasn't a deal breaker. Probably because I'm so awesome in all other areas of my life. No, I'm totally joking. But no, because I was at the point where I wanted to build my credit and become Avery, the businesswoman, outside of coaching and training and all of that.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. But there are some things that I want to get my hands on that have nothing to do with fitness, coaching, and consulting or any of that kind of stuff.
Right.
And rental properties and all of that.
Yeah.
I want to be able to sit up and do this if I want to. Baby, it's just money stacking, making money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I can't put the cart before the horse. I got to lay that foundation. I got to build that credit.
Right.
Okay? So it felt good.
You have a plan in place. You have a plan. You got goals.
Maybe put that plan.
When you have that in place, you can make the steps to getting there, right? It's the same thing with credit. Credit, you can't get an 800 score overnight. So, you have to build. It takes time.
Yes. And that talks about the financial inequality in a relationship and how you can repair that or, become, I guess, what would you call it?
Right.
Equal or compatible? What kind of tips do you have for people who are dealing with financial inequality? And when I say inequality, I mean in a way to where it's adding some strain and pressure to the relationship.
Definitely. So in that relationship, one step is to make sure we are having these conversations, right? Mm-hmm. You want to have these conversations. You want to let go of that fear, let go of the negative thought of what he or she may think of you just because you may be, lacking in your credit score or lacking financially in, your income. But creating that budget is definitely important. Having a plan in place and goals, being on the same page, knowing where we want to be. We want to be 5 months from now or whatever, making it in small time goals and then, having larger or lengthier goals set in place. But so creating a budget, agreeing to the budget. We both have to be on the same page. So making sure we're on the same page, contributing outside of our regular income. So if you are working a 9 to 5 and it's not getting you to that level where you want to be and you feel intimidated because your partner is making more money than you, there's always part-time jobs. There's always side hustles that you can do to add value and add more into your income so it can help you boost. Again, and the conversation is definitely important. Having meetings. I don't know if you think that might be corny, but sitting down with your partner and discussing these type of things like, well, hey, I feel like you know, you make more money than me and I feel a little intimidated. Being honest about that and transparent about how you feel about being on a different level than your mate, it's
Mm-hmm.
important, you know, because then you don't get that little backlash for when someone else is doing something and you feel some type of way about it. Or if you ask for something and you're told no and you feel like, well, he or she got the money to do it and they wouldn't give it to me and we, you know, I'm supposed to be your man or woman. You don't have that, you know?
Right.
I feel like those conversations are important
Yes.
in any relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if you're just dating, if you're married, if you're just dating, if you feel something about your partner being on a higher level than you feel intimidated. That's intimidation. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, have those conversations. Be honest.
And
Be
see,
transparent.
I'm not
I don't
intimidated.
have it.
I'm not
Right.
intimidated. Because here's the thing. Even though he deals with money, I wasn't intimidated in the sense that it's like, oh, I'm not there. Because see, mine was the credit. Like I said, baby, build that credit. But I'm glad that I was with someone who could say, hey, this is what you need to do. You know,
Right.
it wasn't a competition. It was like, no, we're going to build this together because there's some moves that we can make together when it comes to investments, possibly building, you know, generational wealth and setting everything up with that. So to me, it's important. If you feel that there is any type of inequality in a relationship, then you really shouldn't be together, or it needs to be addressed. Because here's the thing. If I get with someone and they, let's say, are here with an area that I'm weaker in, or not even weaker, I'm just not informed, which we're going to get to Ruben. I'm just not as informed.
Okay. Right.
That's a way for me to learn. I can learn from them. That's a good thing. Or if there's things that I know and that I'm involved in that they know nothing about, or they were told the wrong information, then it's my job to show them, like, no, this is really how it is. And this is how we do it. Or this is how you should do it. That's what you're supposed to do. You link up and you're supposed to help each other out. You're not supposed to be with somebody and they're like, well, I got my stuff together, so I don't know what you're doing. No, if we're in this together, we in this together. Like, help me help you, and vice versa. And with that, Ruben said, I think the problem is that no one is taught any financial skills. It's not until someone hears how easy it is to leverage money that they get overwhelmed and untrusted of these skills.
Okay.
So I definitely agree, Ruben, with not being taught any financial skills. When it came to my upbringing, hardworking parents. My mom was a teacher.
Yeah.
My dad was a fireman. He retired as a fire chief. My mom did have several certifications. So being a teacher, she was in the top tier when it came to her salary. Like, she made actually really good money for a teacher. Okay. Like, maybe low six figures or almost six figures. For a teacher, that's good. Especially if you're not a teacher on the East Coast. You know, the cost of living is more. In St. Louis, Missouri, that's what she was making. But when it came to that money, my mama did not play. And she told me, she was like, she never knew about money. Okay. Both of her parents, my grandparents, rest in peace, were alcoholics. So they weren't teaching her about finances. Her grandparents, who helped raise her, cooked for white families, cleaned homes, and that's what they did. But they were old school with their money, and they kind of just saved it because they're the ones that paid for her to go to college. Okay.
Okay.
So when she got older, she did some stuff with a credit card, and she said that her first teaching job, okay, they sent a letter and said they were going to garnish her wages. She said she was so embarrassed that was her wake-up call. And she was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Because I'm working hard for this money. I don't want anybody taking my money. And she got herself together, got her credit together, repaired it. This was probably, she was in her 20s. And now she's 74. She's retired. She's never been forced to go back to work because she wasn't, what do you want to call it? Smart when it came to her money and spending and all of that. So she was able to retire and be comfortable. Okay. She wasn't forced to go be a greeter anywhere or anything like that. She can help with her grandkids. She can travel. Pre-corona, you all, my mom was in South Africa, Italy, China, everything, because she likes to travel. My mom never owned a designer purse. She didn't buy designer clothes. Gorgeous, always look good, but she didn't want to spend her money on those things. And there's nothing wrong with that. I have that kind of stuff. And I also have stuff that cost me $20 that I love. But that's what I'm saying. That just wasn't her thing. She was like, I like to travel. I want to be able
to value things differently.
Travel, right, comfortably. Okay?
Yeah.
So she got her money together. Now, when she got with my dad, he was the one whose credit was messed up. And she was like, oh, no, brother.
Okay.
We got to get this together. And he said because of her, that's why his credit is where it is today. And this is, obviously years ago. But ever since then, she helped him build his up, repair his. So when it came to the finances in that marriage, they were always on the same page. They might not have been on the same page about anything else. And
that's
she said
right there.
She was like, baby, when it comes to that money with your dad, I don't have to worry about a thing because he knows I don't play. They had, a joint account. They had money that went into there. Then they still had, their personal savings or whatever. When it came to the house that they bought or had built, they made sure they were in a top school district. Because that's one thing they did talk to us about was the importance of getting a home in an area where your property value never goes down.
Exactly.
So they weren't filthy rich. They were just smart. But it took them bumping their head, somebody talking about, hey, I'm finna garnish your wages, your paycheck to get it together.
That's a scary thing.
Yes. And they set us up to have a comfortable life, to make sure that we had everything. Bills were paid. They could travel. They were able to retire and live. And like I said, not be forced to go back to work. So that's the extent of what I knew, But they really didn't.
What Avery was saying. You don't know who you're your life partner. You don't know if that person has the same type of a background. So that, that could hinder a relationship too. Like someone that wasn't as fortunate to be in a situation where their lifestyle was comfortable. Some people pick up bad habits at home, from childhood. So they're struggling with that and they don't know how to protect their finances. They don't know how to use them. So they're abusing any situation that comes to them. They get credit cards and they max them out and go about their business and don't even look at the credit and get another credit card and max that out. And, and it's a repetitive cycle because that's kind of all they knew. It's just all this stuff relates to your upbringing sometimes.
Yes.
If you have not educated yourself outside of home, then most likely your upbringing is going to kind of stick with you.
Yes. Yeah, because like me, like I said, they were responsible, but outside of balancing a checkbook, which I don't know if people do that anymore, I really didn't know anything. Oh, and then my mom said, when you go to college, don't get a credit card. That's all I knew. Okay. So it is huge. Now I saw how they lived. I knew that their credit was good. I knew that they saved their money and they also spend some, because you don't just want to save it. You want to be able to enjoy it. So you save some, you spend some. You know what I'm saying? And they had their investments where they built a home, you know, all of that. But they never really taught me what to do. So there's
and
that.
sometimes, like with the credit card, she probably were protecting you. It's a lot of times you don't want your college child, you don't want them to go out and mess up their credit. So sometimes that's a protection thing from parents, like don't go get a credit card, knowing that you might mess it up. You know what I mean? So
yeah, she said,
it could be a protection. And if they have the money to fund whatever you need, like, honey, don't go get a credit card. Like, we'll give you what you need.
Baby.
But it is important that your dad put you on his credit card. Even if you didn't have access to the physical card, that authorized user did help you along. And I don't know what your credit score is looking like right now, but I'm sure it helped you gain some credit.
Sure. Yes, for sure. And all she said was, with those credit cards, she was like, baby, that's not free money. She was like, people think that they're young. They're young. Oh, I'm going to get a credit card. Like you said, I'm going to max it. I was going to pay it whenever. She said that is not free money.
Not free money.
But I didn't really know any better. So here I am as an adult putting all of this together. Because I was like I said, you know, I was here with the cash. If you guys are just joining us, maybe your girl, no credit, all cash. All right. But your upbringing is important. Now, see, here's what I've noticed. There are some people who may not have grown up in a situation like mine, where their parents were building homes and just smart with their money. But some of them are actually more responsible because they never saw it at home. So it kind of forced them to be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I don't want to live like that. Or
don't want to live like that.
I don't want to be getting my water turned on in my child's name. You know, you see people and they get their bills in their kids' names. And then their kids get older and they have messed up credit.
And they have messed up. I've seen so many times.
Absolutely terrible. And I'm not trying to judge anybody. But just like I said, grow up. You know, woman up, man up. Repair your stuff before you destroy your child's. Because that's attached to them forever.
It is. So I see it all the time. All the time.
Oh my gosh. It is terrible.
I mean, same thing within a relationship. If you're, let's say you're married and you have joint accounts and, you know, one partner is responsible and the other's not. So, you know, bills could get out of whack. Missing payments. Some late payments will kill your credit score. So late payments and then, you know, all these derogatory items on your credit and you both look like that. So you leave that relationship, you take that with you because you were in a joint account. It's different. Yeah. It's different if it was separate, you know, but when you join those accounts and both of your names are on there, your socials are tied to that, it's dreadful.
Baby, we got to get it together. And here goes Scott. Scott. Ooh, baby, you telling your age.
Home economics.
Home economics in high schools. So those programs have been cut. And now no one can even budget a household. That is very true. And that is one of the tips.
In the school.
Yes, that is one of the tips. Celicia said that we need is for couples to sit down and create a budget. And
Yeah.
with that, also a spending limit. Because when I was married, we didn't have a budget, and we should have had a budget for sure. We never had one, and we never had these conversations. But one thing we did have was a spending limit. Okay, we were not allowed to spend over a certain amount without telling the other person.
Yeah.
So there was a limit.
That's important.
Okay, which I think is very important. And obviously, everybody's limit, depending on your relationship and your careers, is not going to be the same. But within that relationship, whatever my limit was, his limit was. And then if there was something that was over that, once you go to that person and you say, hey, this is something that I want, or something that I want to do, and it costs X amount of dollars, if that person is not in agreement with it, you can't do it.
Don't get done.
And if you do it, that brings me, look at my notes, to the next topic. Financial infidelity. If that person does not agree, if they're like, hey, not right now, or do you really need that, or you just want it, or what about this, and you go do it anyway, and there's ways you can do it without them noticing right away. I don't care if you go to the ATM and you take out a couple hundred here, a couple hundred here, a little bit over here, and then you go
pay for it, huh?
And you pay cash. And I know you guys are probably like, how do you know how to do it's not rocket science. But no, that is what some call financial infidelity. All right.
Definitely.
That is when you are being a cheater, pumpkin. Use a cheat.
Yeah.
You know, y'all was talking about Derrick Jackson cheating. You cheating if you that is a form of cheating. So it's like you're hiding.
So that's going to definitely cause that tension. It's going to cause the tension in the house. It's going to cause fights, loss of trust. Of course, if I can't trust you, we agreed on this. You feel backstabbed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Person went out and did something that you guys agreed. You just made a agreement that we wouldn't do this. And you went out and did it anyway. You know, it ruins relationships. You know, how do I feel about trusting you next time, right?
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to read this definition. You know, I'm a definition person. Okay. Well, you might not know that, Steve, but I am. Okay. Bear with me. What is financial infidelity? It's not the cheater, pumpkin eater. Let me be for real. Okay. We define financial infidelity as engaging in any financial behavior expected to be disapproved of by one's romantic partner and intentionally failing to disclose this behavior to them. We argue financial infidelity arises from conflict between one's own financial preferences, goals, and desires, and those dictated by the significant other. Okay, so this was a study that I was reading, and they put this together, and that's what it is. They said whether it's ordering packages and having them delivered to somebody else's house, hiding purchases, anything that you know your significant other disapproves of, or if they've already told you flat out, like, hey, no, or maybe not right now, and you do it anyway.
Right.
For example, putting myself in the chopping block again. I like a good purse. Okay. I like a nice purse.
Okay.
Where am I going? hardly nowhere. Do I have enough purses? 100%. And I even carry the same purses almost all the time. I have some that you guys can't see stacked up right over here. Okay. But it was like this thing. Oh, I'm going to treat myself and buy a new bag, even if it's sitting on my shelf. And the last time I thought about buying a purse, he was like, you want a property or you want a purse? Do you want a trip or do you want a purse that you're just going to sit on your shelf? You guys, the last time I bought a purse was a couple years ago. And when I say a purse, I'm spending over $1,500 on a purse. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, it does not mean that I will not buy any purses in the future. It's just that I don't need them. I don't need one right now. And then when you get your priorities set, like when I remodeled this house, I was like, that $3,000
exactly.
can go towards the windows.
Yes.
It can go towards the stove. It can go towards this tile.
Exactly. Yeah.
I got these hardwood floors refinished.
That's
it
what you
can
need
go
to
towards
do up,
that.
girl.
Right. And it's like, I can still have nice things, but I didn't need it. I don't need
a different type of toy you want now, right?
Right. It's a different type of toy. And like you said, if you're with someone, it's not that they should be a dictator. No, you can't have that. Like you're a child. It's just like, oh, come on, we're trying to do some things. Or I know you're trying to make some moves. You don't need that. It's a waste. That money can go somewhere else. It can go towards a property. It can go, in your savings for now. Or you can even spend it. It's not that you can't spend it. You just shouldn't spend it on that. I'd rather you spend it on this. Like traveling with kids is expensive.
Oh,
buying flights for them, a babysitter to come or whatever, baby, that's expensive. I don't need a purse. I can take that $3,000 and put that towards flights. But that's the thing. You should have that other person who can say,
right.
And guess what? I don't feel like that person's coming down on me and they're trying to run me and tell me what to do. They are in that moment being responsible and holding me accountable and saying like, stop before you spend it. Let's think about this.
Right.
Do you really
when you got those long-term goals, he's probably feeling like, hey, we can get those purses later. Let's get these properties up to par. And,
and you don't need them. You don't carry the ones that you have now.
Or desire to have that.
Yes.
So,
that is, so that's
Let's
true.
create some memories along the way.
Yes.
And take some nice trips. Right?
Mm-hmm. So really quick, which one of y'all is cheating? No. Which one of y'all is cheating in your relationship? Who is committing financial infidelity? Or who's partaking in financial infidelity?
Right.
Because you guys have come on a stream before and asked me about cheating. Avery, have you ever cheated? And I told you the truth. Same team, win together, lose apart. So you better tell me if you have ever cheated financially, okay? This is financial infidelity. I'm not saying you are now, but where are my cheaters at? Let me know in the comments. If you've done some slick stuff, like, oh, they not finna run me. I'm gonna get what I want to. Or I'm gonna buy this and have it sent to someone else's house. Or, you know what I used to do? Okay, now this really isn't cheating because I wasn't spending over our limit we had set.
Okay.
But sometimes I did feel like I was shopping a little too much. He wasn't even there. He was out of town. But when I would walk into my closet and have bags stacked, but then I would have bags in the trunk, I was like, ooh, I'm not going to bring these in the house right now. Or I would try to take them out of the bag and bring them into the house. Now remember, he wasn't there, but me seeing that, I felt the guilt because I knew it's not that I couldn't buy it because it was, you know, hurting our finances, but I knew I shouldn't be buying the stuff because I did not need it. I was wasting money just because it was there. You know, and now I still buy stuff, but I don't waste as much. Now I do order out a lot of food. And guys, I know I talked about cooking. I do cook. But on my days where I'm busy with the kids and practices,
I think that's my problem.
Baby, you can have a refrigerator full of food. Sorry, guys, I'm getting off topic.
Avery, but you know what? I give us both a pass because your schedule sometimes don't allow you to get home and cook all the time.
No, we're coming in.
I'm definitely Uber eating and DoorDashing and Instacarting, man. Whew.
But like today, my boy said,
definitely
I haven't ate all day. Oh, 100%. Right? Don't be trying to call me out like that. 100% impulsive spending, which I don't do anymore. And really quick. Okay, let me finish this one thought. You guys know I have ADD. Okay, I did not take my Adderall today. I'm trying to be natural. Okay, so my son was like, I haven't ate all day. Can you order me some Noodles and Company? House full of food. Okay, we were busy with soccer. I had a friend in town. So the babysitter, the lady who helps me, was out there cooking salmon, jasmine rice, sauteed green beans. I'm like, and there's stuff for deli sandwiches. You guys, I keep my house stocked. When people come over, they open up the cabinet. It's like, oh, because there's so much stuff. He was in front of that video game because he hasn't been able to play all weekend because he was in a soccer tournament.
Right.
So he didn't know he was hungry. He's in there starving himself, but he wanted me to order food. I was like, no, I'm not going to be ordering food when there is a house full of food. And not like when our parents used to tell us, oh, there's food in there. And you go in there and it's like cans of beans and cans of tuna. Like, you're like, well, I'm not going to eat this. But like good food.
No, we're not doing
that. The other
that.
kids would be like, dang, your mama gets all stuff or whatever. But he didn't want to eat that. I was like, no, you eating this. Because yes, we can eat out sometimes, but I try to save it for those days when we're really busy.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we are getting in from football and soccer practice on a weeknight, 8:45. And they eat before, but they're still hungry. Yeah. We have homework, we have showers. So I try to save the carry out and all of that for those nights where I know we're getting in late.
Right.
Instead of, let's just order food. Here we go again.
I know.
You know, just wasting. You know, I feel like at some point you could almost just take the money and just set fire to it. You know?
Girl,
so I'm trying to teach them because they are spoiled. Just because you have it doesn't mean you need to spend it. And when I say that, I'm also let me tell myself that. Because, baby, I feel like Amazon is at my door every day. Now, impulsive spending. That can also come from people, here I go with that healing, you know, I'm going to talk about it, who are not healed in certain areas of their life. Okay? So just like when you have closet eaters and, you know, they're satisfying themselves with food. They're emotional eaters. Okay? If they're happy, they're eating. If they're sad, they're eating. Okay? The same thing happens with impulsive spending, which is why if you're in a relationship, that can be a red flag because it's like, Why are you doing this? You're trying to fill a void. And that's
Yes.
honestly,
Definitely.
okay, so when I spent you all, and let's just be honest, it's because I had so many other things that were upside down in my life. I couldn't just hop on a flight and escape because I had the kids here. Okay. And I work out. So I could only work out so much. I got excessive with the working out. And like the eating, I wasn't about to be drinking a ton and doing drugs because once again, I have kids and I have to be healthy for them. And I did have an image that I had to uphold. So what did I do? Impulsive shopping, spending, emotional spending, and I was just buying stuff. Something happens, I'm going to go buy a purse. Something else happens, I'm going to go buy 5 pairs of $300 jeans for no reason.
Yeah.
So those are red flags because there's usually something else that is going on that is making that person spend like that. And that needs to be addressed. So that's why you have to pay attention to these finances, not just the, oh, we need to be on a budget or what is your credit score. It goes deeper because when you're connected with that person, whether it's through marriage or it's a committed relationship, a serious relationship, that affects you as well. Because that's the same thing.
So that's the emotional spending.
Mm-hmm. Gambling.
Yep.
It's all, a lot of that can all come from the same place or whatever. So impulsive spending is a problem. Okay, Brandon said too much of anything is an addiction. 100%. And baby, look.
Yeah.
I like money. You know why? Because it allows you to do certain things. It takes the stress off of you. And when I say I like money, not, I have to be with a man who makes $1 million. Not like that. But what I'm saying is that like I like it. I don't want to waste it. And what really helped me like it more, back to this rehab. When I started getting them bills, I was like, that's why I have so much respect for these plumbers, these carpenters, and everything.
Yes.
One is a skill set, but I'm like, this is where the money resides for real. Because people are always getting things done to their homes. But it does.
Yeah.
It puts stuff in perspective. When I started thinking, like, okay, if I go to Starbucks and spend $6 5 days out the week, $6 every day, 5 days out the week, and you start adding that up, I'm like,
oh yeah,
that is
so funny because my sister used to do that, and until she got a Keurig. Shout out to Keurig. But
right.
hey, when you start paying attention to the small things that you have, like that you do on a daily basis or even on a weekly basis that are unnecessary, even like subscriptions, like you have all of these different subscriptions. You have your YouTube, you got your Pandora that's ad free. And then you got all these different apps on your smart TV that you're paying for, but you were mad and cursed out the cable company. But if you pay attention, you may have that same cable bill that you complained about because you've added all these different subscriptions. Pay attention to those small spendings and see how they're adding up and what impact they are doing towards your budget. It's crazy. It really
that's a good thing that couples can do. Say, hey, tonight, let's get a glass of wine. Okay, no, not a glass. Let's get a bottle of wine. A bottle of cognac, coffee, tea, whatever. Make it a thing. Let's both sit on our phones and look and see what subscriptions we both are paying for or paying for separately or whatever that we don't need.
Yes.
And get rid of them. And then when it comes to that little spending, you guys, it'll make you more comfortable too. Okay, like, hey, babe, what do you spend on? and he could say like, okay, well, I find myself going to this same restaurant 3 times a week to grab my lunch. You guys, and I'm not saying because she doesn't cook. Maybe he just likes their food. But you don't need to go 3 times a week. So he could say, okay, you know what? I'm going to go once a week. That's saving money. And then he could say, like, hey, what about you? I'm just using the Starbucks again. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been going there after my plank class, my workout, and I've been getting the honey oat milk latte. Baby, I'm telling on myself because you know that is a specific order. That's my order, guys.
That's your
And
order.
I'm going there and I'm
Okay.
spending, and I'm like, I have a Keurig at home. I drink coffee before I leave to go work out.
Yeah.
I don't need to not get this, but I don't need to get it 3 and 4 times a week because I'm getting the extra stuff or I'm getting the big size. I'm spending between $45 and like $50+ a week on a coffee beverage. There is no need.
Yeah.
So it can be like, say, hey, now I'm going to get that once a week. The extra money that I was spending on unnecessary Starbucks drinks. And then, babe, the money you're spending, you know, getting this lunch from this restaurant, you know, $40 3 times a week. We're going to take this money and put it in a pot and see how much we can save and put it towards whatever we want. Because that's another thing.
Right.
It feels good when you can enjoy the money together. So
yeah,
let's put that towards, you know, us going to Bali or something and see how much we can save. I think that's smart because it's not like you're bringing the hammer down and saying, no, all you can do is drink water. You can only eat at home. You can only watch movies at home. I mean, whatever it is.
Yeah, because you want to be able to enjoy life outside.
Yeah, you should be able to enjoy life. Yeah. But we don't have to waste. Let's just be cautious and go back to setting a goal. Set a goal. Okay, so really quick. When it comes to that and the spending and just wasting money and all of that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's one-sided. And the other person can be looking like, I don't want you spending my money. I want you to spend your own money like that. Not that you can't spend mine, but you wasting. You know, I don't want you bringing down my savings. Or if it's somebody who is more financially responsible, and let's say they get with somebody who is not as responsible, or both people are responsible, but you want to protect yourself. How can you protect yourself financially when you're in a relationship?
So certain type of relationship,
you know,
it depends. So with marriages, you know, there's talk about prenups, right? So that's a whole agreement of what I come with and what you come with. When we split, you know, we're protected. I have what I had, you had what you had. Or whatever the case is, whatever you put into that prenup, right? And then you have the joint account. So with joint accounts, that's when we talk about credit, of course, that joint account, both social security numbers are tied to joint accounts. So you're both going to leave with whatever that account is, that debt. If it ends up in debt, you're both leaving with it. You both, that's a half and half situation, right? Sometimes there's the AU. If you have a credit card and you put me on it, you can actually put a spending limit on my side. So I'm not maxing out. If you don't trust me or you feel like I'm an overspender, then you can set that up for me to spend. Say she can't spend over $50 on, you know what I mean? So those are all ways that you can protect yourself financially using credit cards and using your income, your finances. So those bank accounts, those joint accounts, you know, limit access. If you feel you need a prenup in a situation, you came with a lot and this relationship is new and you feel like, well, I wanted my family to have and reap my rewards, hey, you know, every
Mhm.
situation is different for people, but
Mhm.
I mean, those are options that you do have.
I was about to ask you a question, but I'm not going to do that. Would you
Spit it
sign a
out.
prenup? Wait. I said I'm about to ask you a question, but I'm not going to do that. Would you sign a prenup? No, that's a whole nother thing. But no, would you? You don't have to answer.
I definitely feel like it depends on the situation. What if you both are
Mhm.
up here? I mean,
Yeah.
there's no law. But I know a lot of women feel intimidated when there is one and they're asked to sign because, you know, a man has been, or a female, who cares, has been so successful in their
Right.
life, you know, lifetime, and they just want to be protected and feel that, you know, this is new, even though it's love, you know, we supposed to love each other, but that you still can have joint accounts outside of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can still build together outside of that. It's just that what I came with originally, I'm going to leave with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I
But, you know,
mean,
everybody ain't loyal.
everybody ain't
Oh,
loyal.
no, I was kidding. I'm not here to say that.
And and then everybody, you know, they value things differently. So
For sure.
that's why it's important to have those conversations up
You gotta
front.
have
So
them.
once that question is asked, you don't feel intimidated if someone asks you to sign a you know, right before the wedding.
Because you
So,
already know
hey,
in advance. And some people may
you know in
not ask you to
advance.
sign one, but they're trusting you with their life, with their heart, and with their money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want you to take care of my money just like you're supposed to take care of me because we both benefit. It's all about having a healthy, well balanced, whatever that looks like for you, because everybody's
Right.
balance is going to be different. Healthy, well balanced relationship on all sides. And then in any areas where you have to put in some work or have more meetings or hold each other accountable, then you do it.
Yeah.
But you can't skip that money part at all. Like, I can't
You
imagine
definitely can't.
still trying to run from the fact that didn't want to check my credit, didn't want to build credit. It's not that I didn't want to, I didn't know how to. I felt intimidated because then you see all this credit stuff, and I was like, that's not my lane. Oh, and so this is what I told the guy. It comes with being humble. Okay, you guys, I talk about letting go of that ego. I was like, look, I really don't know. I said, I need help. I told him, I said, I need help with
That's
this type
honest.
of stuff because I don't know. I was like, and the reason why I run from it is because I get overwhelmed. When I think about it, I'm like, oh my God, because I'm not a numbers person. I would rather have somebody else set it up and I'm going to do it. Whether it's a budget, whether it's a financial advisor, tell me what to do. Also walk me through it and let me know why I need to do it and how I can benefit from it, how my children can benefit from it, how my children's children one day will be able to benefit from it. And I'm going to do it.
Right.
I'm sold. If it's going to add to my life and add to my family and create generational wealth and all of that, I'll do it.
Right.
But I had to tell him. I was like, I don't know. He was like, you know what? He was like, I love that honesty because some people and some women wouldn't want to say that. They don't want
people
to
appreciate that.
I don't know. But I was like, I don't know. And I was like, I need your help. If you show me and tell me, I'm going to do it. But this ain't it. This ain't my lane.
That's real. Yeah.
Like, I just didn't know. And I still, even when it came to, you know, okay, this is the refinancing process. Then we'll take some of this, put it over here, wait till you find some good investments, put that money there, then have that, make some money, then take that money, put it here.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Currency, keep it
this is
moving.
possible.
Currency. Yeah.
Currency. I was like, this is possible. And he is open to educating me, and I'm willing to learn. Now you all.
I love it.
Not everybody is going to be as awesome as Celicia and I. Not everybody is going to be willing to learn. Okay, I'm the learner. She's the teacher. Okay? So, man or woman, if you were trying to have these conversations with the person you are with and they don't want to have them, well, I was looking for something red because I'm about to wave it. That's a red flag. Because you shouldn't have to force them. Because who wants to do that? It's like, we're in this together. Same team. I shouldn't have to force you to want to be smart when it comes to our finances, or I shouldn't have to force you to want to repair your credit, or force you to build credit, or to budget, or to do anything that's going to hold you accountable when it comes to your finances, and to anything that's going to make you financially responsible. If they are not a willing participant, take your money, take your good credit, and run for the win.
Girl.
Baby, book it. Book it. Don't let them bring you down.
Right.
Because for real, it's something serious where both people need to be all in. No matter if one is more knowledgeable when it comes to it, but it's something that you should be able to do together. And it's actually kind of exciting. It's to see what your money can do, to see where your credit goes, to see what investments you guys can get into. It's awesome. So it's something.
And, you know, credit's never important until it's important.
And that's another thing I was told. It was like, look, you need to set yourself up for the future. Any investments or just anything you want to do, because when the time comes and you have to do it, and then you're trying to rush and do it. You know what I'm saying?
You're scrambling. Yeah.
You're scrambling. He's like, set it up now. Handle it now. So when you need it, it's there. And I was like,
that's the key.
Maybe keep adding.
That's the key. That is the key.
Let me see. Somebody said, marriage these days really sounds like business deals. That's a good statement. See what you think.
Well, sometimes it is like, I feel that way too. Nowadays, like she said, probably because there's so much information out here, and everybody, it seems like this is the generation of entrepreneurs. So if you pay attention, like everybody has a business, everybody's doing this, everybody's doing that. That's why I feel like lacking knowledge is not an excuse anymore.
You're absolutely right.
Knowledge is, you can go, you can Google, YouTube, all kinds of stuff.
TikTok. So, people make TikToks on not just recipes or dances, but financial tips, is everything.
Accessible everywhere. So, I mean, there is situations where now people are looking at relationships like, you got to come with something.
Yes.
You know, it ain't just about love anymore. The love is there, but you got to come with something.
You got to bring something
you gotta motivate me. You got to have some kind of goal. You got to inspire me. That's where that business, it seems like it's a business. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you do. Totally you have to bring something to the table. Love ain't going to pay the bills.
Do. Yeah, just like now, it's like you're interviewing. You're interviewing for relationships.
Yeah, to see if you're compatible in all ways.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we go, this is a question that I saw some people comment on, or a topic. Should relationships be 50-50 financially?
They could be. Are they supposed to be? They definitely could be.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of alleviates some of the frustrations, financial frustrations. If we, that's to me, that's a conversation they need to agree to say, hey,
Mhm.
you go half on the mortgage, I go half, we split everything 50-50. What's the argument? There's nothing left.
Right.
I know women, love my girls, but majority of women think that the man is supposed to, and that comes from our childhood, you know, the old
Mhm.
patterns that we used to, the old stuff we knew back in the day, our parents went
Mhm.
through. The man was the provider. And
Mhm.
a lot of guys like to be that still.
Mhm.
But still, I feel like that comes from men. You know, you're looking at it like the man is supposed to step up to the plate, so he's supposed to pay more. Is that fair or
Mhm.
not? I don't think it's fair.
Right.
But if you, in that financial inequality, hey, if you are up here and I'm down here, how about we agree for something like, let me pay all the utilities and you cover the
Mhm.
mortgage?
Right.
If that's a balance, whatever it works
Mhm.
for you, but have conversations. Simply have those conversations.
That's it. Because everybody's 50 is going to look different. 50-50. Okay.
Yeah.
And with that, another thing is, for example, okay, when I was married, the reason I stopped working, this is in the very, very beginning, okay? I was teaching at a school, is because when he started rising in his career, with me working and then paying for, you know, child
Daycare and
care
stuff.
and all of
Yeah.
that, it was cheaper, or it was then for me to stay home with the kids
Yes.
because of what my money was not contributing. No, but seriously, we spent at one point almost more, and it sounds crazy with me working, because then it was okay, we had sent them to childcare, baby, in the daycare they were at, house notes.
Yeah.
Straight house notes.
Yeah.
And this is like early on. Before we started the business, before I started kind of working for him and all of that, it was early on. So that is why we made the decision for me to stop teaching. And then, you know, years later, I became a trainer. We opened up the business.
Right.
I worked for him. We did all of that. So my contribution then, it wasn't a financial contribution. So it wasn't a 50-50 in that sense, but it was, you know, the homemaker, the child care.
Right. Yeah.
Because for one kid back then, it was $1,200 or like $1,400 a month for one child.
Girl.
Then I had another one. Okay. So you think
Yeah.
they give you a little bit of a tuition break if you have another kid in the school. Baby, that was expensive. So that's why I actually stopped working when I did, well, stopped working outside the home. And then, of course, like I said, we did the other business ventures. So when it comes to the 50-50, I think, like Celicia said, it depends on your relationship. You should not expect for somebody to do it all and you just sit back and do nothing. You have to contribute some way, somehow.
Right.
And one thing my dad told me, and we were talking about this last night at our little girls' nights dinner, was this. He was like, a man should be able to provide. Okay. So even though my mom worked, my dad's money went towards all the bills. Okay.
Okay.
Her money went into their savings. He was like, a man should be able to provide. But if he leaves you, your light should stay on. So it means you should still be able to pay your bills and provide.
Yeah.
With or without him. But he should be able to provide. And,
Amen
that's
to
just
that.
that's how I was raised. He was like, no, a real man should be able to provide. He said, I don't care what he does.
Right.
He needs to take pride in getting up and going to work and working hard. And you do your part. But if he walks out that door, you should not be getting disconnect notices at all. Okay. Oh, here goes Scott. Okay. If your partner is paying more than 50%, then you need to make that difference up. It should be a partnership. Yes, Scott, that's exactly
Definitely.
what I just said.
Yeah.
And what Steve just said. Thank you for letting me know that I was right. No, I'm playing with you all tonight. But no, it's true. It has to be some trade-off. 100%. You're not just going to take the money, take my love. You just have to take. We have to pour back into this relationship. Okay? It is a partnership. All in. We're both all in. Now, what are, let me think, some of the most important tips that you think people can take and kind of run with and apply to their relationship? Some takeaways. I'm going to mention one really quick because it's the easiest one. No. Have these conversations.
Definitely. Yeah, that
Keep having
transparency.
Keep having
You have to be transparent with your finances.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say date night? Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have wine and talk about our finances. We're gonna talk about we're gonna plan our next family vacation, whatever that's gonna be. That's a good idea. But yeah, having those conversations, and then having fun with it. Leave the tension out of the equation. You know, make sure we're both on the same page. If we feel that inequality financially, let's build each other up. Who's ever lacking, let's support them, support whatever, you know, their side hustle or their little dream, their little creativity they may have. Let's support that. And so they can level up too. Like you said, it's the same team. We're all rooting for
on that same team.
Yeah. So it's one house too. We're in the same household. We want our household to be stable, right? We need our foundation to be stable. We need our kids to grow up in a stable home, in a stable environment. We want to cut those cycles that are that's from the past that we always continue to blame. Oh, we didn't.
Oh, she froze.
That blame game, right?
Yes.
Blame game.
And another thing I think is the budget. And here's the thing. If one person is better at budgeting, then that person do it. Or if that person's too busy, I know couples who have financial advisors. And no, you do not have to make millions to have a financial advisor. I know people that are school teachers who have a financial advisor. They can help kind of guide and hold both parties accountable. So they bring in a third party to help them with their finances. Just like you may bring in a counselor. It doesn't mean that your marriage is bad, but you're bringing in a counselor for maintenance. It's healthy.
Yeah.
You can bring in a third party for financial maintenance to help your relationship. Baby, because it makes that pillow talk. Now, you know I'm going to go there real quick before we get off.
I love it.
Baby, when them finances are right, and you guys, we're not saying filthy rich. That's not what we're saying. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just when your finances are right, when they're healthy, it can make that bedroom action or wherever wherever, kitchen, wherever. Okay, I shouldn't have said that, but whatever. We're adults. But no, seriously, it can help your intimacy. Because when you have that financial strength, baby, when you have that financial strength, or you guys just don't have the conversations about the money, it's the elephant in the room. I don't know if that's helping the libido. I don't even know what libido is, but I don't know if it's helping the libido. And I'm going to stop talking before I get into trouble and say something really crazy to you guys. But don't you think, come on, it's a trap. It's like, it makes you feel better when all of that is taken care of. Because I don't know how sexy I'm going to feel if there is that stress when it comes to the
Either party.
finances.
It ain't gonna work.
Mm-hmm. Baby, ain't nothing working. It's
It
like,
ain't
I'm
work.
not in the mood. Nope.
Yes.
So you guys, look, the most important thing here, honestly, is to be on the same team when it comes to your finances. Financial status, credit, all of that.
Mhm.
Be on the same team because it will add to your relationship. If you are not on the same team when it comes to the finances, it will cause a lot of problems for you all in the future or in the present moment. Do not sweep it under the rug. For those of you who would like your girl, and you were scared at one point, or you still are, to check your credit, to repair it, or to build credit, for whatever reason, you cannot outrun it. Just face it. Think about everything else you have faced in life and overcome. Do not let that stuff stop you. Okay? Brandon said, fear is a fungus. It is definitely a fungus. So know your status. That's what my girl says, okay? Celicia at Status Credit
Know your
Advisors
status.
always says, know your status. Because you want to build wealth, you want to acquire wealth, and you just want to be wealthy mentally, spiritually, and financially. Because we can all win together. So get on the same page. Make sure you guys are on the same team, not just in the bedroom, but in them bank accounts as well, where the money resides. All right.
Where the money resides.
Lacey, you got anything to say, boo?
Hey, transparency is key. So keep that in mind. First thing to knowing what's on your credit is to pull your credit report. So you can get a free credit report every week from all three bureaus while COVID is going on. So make sure you take advantage, know what's on your reports. Make sure you can dispute any and all derogatory items that may look fishy. Pay attention to your credit because, I mean, it's so much fraud today. Just make sure you are keeping track of your finances. And like, again, have fun. Do not put so much tension into the financial part of your relationship. Please don't.
Right.
Just have the conversations. Be on the same page, and it usually balances out.
Exactly. That is awesome. All right, you all. Thank you for joining. Even with that crazy audio in the beginning, this is Same Team Sundays, where we win together, a loser part, and Celicia at Status Credit Advisors. Thank you for coming. You guys make sure if you're on Instagram, you follow her at Status Credit Advisors. It's a tongue twister, okay? And have an awesome week on purpose.
Amen.
Bye.
Bye.